Hello, Lori here with Hardworking Mom. Today we're going to be doing our swag, our fall swag. It's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be something different to do. So this is our sign and this is our swag. Okay, so it's an evergreen swag and these are a lot of fun to do and they're pretty quick and simple. So I thought it would be a great idea if we went through one of those. So I'm going to move the camera down and we'll get started. Okay, so this swag is going to have this sign here. Let's move this out of the way. Let's get that out of the way. All right, here we go. All right. It's going to have this sign. Damn it, I am going to figure this out in a minute. All right. It's going to have this sign. It's going to have this evergreen swag. Then this is the truck with the little pumpkins on it. And this is a 2.5 inch 10-yard roll. This is a 1.5 inch 10-yard roll. And this has the orange, the greens, and kind of the yellow. Then we have several picks that we're going to be putting in it. So they all have the same fall colors in them. Some have gourds, some have the flowers. And then we're going to be putting in 4 of these as well. So the last thing we'll be putting in, or the first thing, I guess I should say, is this. So this is burlap. This is only 5 yards, but it is a very thick mesh. It is a very thick burlap mesh. So 5 yards is going to be plenty for what we need. And this is going to be just some little accent ribbon that we're going to add in. And I think this is adorable. This will help make it stand out a little bit as well. So the first thing you want to do when you get a swag like this is you want to really fluff it out. So we will take our swag here, and it comes and it's pretty much like this, okay? So what you want to do is you want to go and you want to pull out all these little pieces, because that's going to help make it much larger. You just have to fluff it out. It's just like with an evergreen wreath. You just want to kind of fluff it out. Or like if you get Christmas trees every year. Not as much work as a Christmas tree, but you do want to fluff it out. You wouldn't want to work with it without it being fluffed out. Okay, so we'll just... And this is a pine evergreen. So it has some cute little pine pieces in it, which I love. Okay. So when you get this all pulled out, it is going to be about 36 inches long from this very tip, okay? And the width is going to be somewhere around 16 to 18 inches. Okay, there. All right. So these are really fun to do, and they're different. So I kind of just like to make sure that I have a pretty even number on each side, and if I see that I need to switch something over, it's easy just to pull it and pull it across. So it just helps if you have a little bit of kind of groundwork, I guess you would say, done. Okay, so once I get to this point, and I'm pretty happy with how I fluffed everything out, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my mesh in. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to open this up. Okay. We're going to put some poofs in. And then we're going to take the extra and we're going to make a few ruffles. So let's see. Let's try to find my scissors so I could, there we go. Okay. All right. So I'll take this here and I want to start it at the top and I'm just going to scrunch it together like this. And the great thing about these evergreens is you don't have to do anything because it comes with its own picks. Did I say picks? It comes with its own ties. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to use the evergreen and I'm going to tie it down. Okay? And then I'm going to do, let's see, how long is this? About an 8-inch poof. Okay, and I'm going to take my little evergreen and tie it down, fluff it out, okay, and then we'll do another one. There we go. Okay, tie this one down. Now let's see, I'm coming down about, let's see, 5 inches. Okay. So do the same thing. So we want to do one more. So we end up with 4. Okay. There we go. And then tie that one off. Okay. Now, there are 2 ways you can do this. You can just tie it off and just kind of tuck it underneath here, or you can even pull it down and have some hanging down. Really just depends on what you like. I'm going to have just a tad come down, and if we decide we don't like it later, we can take it off. So there we go. I have about 10 inches coming down. Okay? Now our sign is going to go kind of in the middle here, like that. And this sign has a wire on it. So I am just going to cut that wire in half and we'll use it to tie our sign down. Okay? Now, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to make our bow. So when you do these swags, one of the main things with a swag is the bow. You always want to do a really pretty, nice bow. I'm going to use these 2 to do my bow. And there's multiple ways you can do your bow. I really like these 2 colors together. They're very complementary. So you could, if you have trouble making bows, you can do the hobo, which is just, let's see, how big do we want it? About 4-inch loops. So you can do that, and then what you'll do is you're going to have some of this ribbon coming down through the swag. Okay, so you can do it this way. You can do it like the funky bow way that Julie Samako teaches. Okay, and you'll have a little bit up top and then some down the length. you can also make it the same length, and then you can just use some to do a tail. Okay, you can also just make regular handmade bows. So, just flipping under, pinching in the center, and then you would twist it. Center, twist, back to the center. See, when you do it this way, you want to make sure that your loops match. Okay? But I don't want you to be intimidated by the bow itself. So you just have to decide which way you feel more comfortable with. Okay? So this one is pretty easy to do. If you have trouble, you can use your bow dabra, and you can also use the pro bow. Okay? So this is how you would do making just a hand bow, like this. Okay? And then what we would do is do the loops with this one and put it right on top. And then we can spread it out like this. And we'll be putting it right up here. So you want at least 6 loops on each side, so that would be a 12 loop bow. There's 6 here, okay? So you would want to have 6 of these as well. And that makes a nice size bow. All right. So let me show you how to do it with the pro bow. So the pro bow comes with this little spool holder. And we'll move this out of the way. Okay. So we're going to put this on our spool holder. Okay. Alrighty. Now we're going to do our bow on C here. So we'll move these out. Okay. And that is about a 6-inch loop at its widest. Okay. So when you're doing it on the pro bow, you need 2 wires. One is going to hold the entire bow on. I usually cut it about 28 inches. And the other one is going to put all of the layers together. Okay. So one is for while you're working and the other one is for when you're done. So the one that is when you're done is the first one that goes on. So you want to find the center. Okay. You want to figure out how long you want your tail to be. I'm just going to go to the end of the board. We're going to start with the smaller one because that's one that's going to be up here. And I'm going to tie this first wire around my first ribbon. I'm going to come to the board and I'm going to come to this main peg or finger as it's called, and you're going to load it on by putting one wire up top, taking another wire. There's a little nail down here and you want to put it on that and then get it out of the way. So what this does is this is going to go around the entire bow, and so this is your finish wire. Okay, this one is going to be what you're going to use as you're working on your bow. So what you'll need to do is you'll need to take this second wire and slide it behind your main wire, because you're going to be holding it together from the center. So go around your first loop, come back, pinch it, twist it, and I like to get this one out of the way. And you're going to take that wire, that second wire, and you're going to twist it on. So you're putting these two together. You see? You want to keep one wire up, one wire down. And the reason you're doing that is because you're going to want to be able to come back around after you do your loop, pinch and twist, okay? And what you're doing is you can take this wire and you can go up and you can go down, and it will hold your bow on there while you do something else. So let's say you have to walk out of the room for a minute. Well, you can just do one wire up and one wire down, and it'll hold it while you are gone. So you just keep going around your fingers, okay? Come back to the center, pinch and twist. Okay, there we go. So now we have gotten our first one on. So now I'm going to do my up and down. I'm going to take a pair of scissors. I'm going to cut this off. And that's going to be my tail that goes over here. So it's really easy just to take your tails and push them up in between. And that just kind of holds them out of your way. And you don't have to worry about it. Alright, so I'm going to put this down. And we're going to start on this one. So remember, this one, it doesn't matter. It's the same on both sides. This, however, has a pattern. So this would be the top of the bow, so you want the pattern to be up here. Alright? So we're going to pinch it. And that second wire that we loaded on is how we're going to put this one on here. So you just twist it one time to get it on. And you see how it holds it for you? Okay, go around that first finger, back to the center, pinch it, twist it, okay, I'm going to put this one out of the way. Okay, alright, now go around that next wire, finger, come back to the center, make sure that one wire's going up and that one wire's going down, because if it's not, you're going to have problems later. So we just keep doing the same thing. Go around our finger, come back, pinch, twist. So this is just like you would do if you're making it by hand. You have to pinch and twist it when you get to the center, because you have to get that pattern back up. So that's why you're doing that. Okay, so we're about done. Pinch, twist. So you see, it is pretty fast to make a bow with the bow dabber. Okay, so now I'm going to put this second wire and twist it one good time. I want to make sure everything is going to stay in place. I don't want it to come loose, and I'm going to trim it off. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I don't need this anymore. I can just put it away. Now, so now you see that first wire that we put on, it is right here at the very beginning of our bow. So we want to take that out, because now we are ready to take our bow off. So I pulled the one from the bottom out. I'm unwinding the one from the top. And I want to get this as tight as I possibly can. And I'm going to twist it one good time. And then I'm just going to get this off of here. All right, there we go. So I put this away. And I'm going to get out my fluff box. So this is just a very heavy box. And you know, I've seen people make it with a lot of different things. Anything that will just hold your bow steady is what you want. So now I am going to twist these wires on nice and tight. Make sure everything on this bow is tight. Okay. And I'm going to stick it in my little hook. There's a little hook right in the center, and there's a nail at the end. So I'll just put that on there. And why we do this is because it just makes it a little bit easier to fluff up your bow, okay? So now that we have it loaded on here, we can start moving things around. Now I like to do the little center piece just because I think it's cute, but you don't have to do that. That is strictly up to you. Okay. So we get our bow all fluffed out here. I love these colors. So what you want to do is you want to take your tails, okay, and you want to cut a nice little detail in them. So fold them over like this, cut at an angle away from yourself, and it gives you that nice little dovetail. Same thing with this one. You can also cut it at an angle. Really just depends on what you like. Okay. Okay. There we go. And we have a nice little bow. Now, of course, you can make this bow as large as you like. It really just depends on what you like. So when we bring our swag back, this pretty bow is going to go right up here at the top. So we have our wires, and I will tie it on right here. So tie it on so it's on there nice and tight. Okay, and then I'll just kind of refluff a little bit. Make sure everything's going in the direction I want it to. Okay. Alrighty. There we go. Now, I want some of these tails to be up here because this is going to add some volume. You can take your fingers and run it underneath, and it will make it curl under like that. Okay. So we're going to do this one too. There we go. Make sure I have it on there nice and tight. There. All right. So move those loops around. There we go. All right. So we have our bow on. Isn't that pretty? And then what we're gonna do, once we get this on, then what we're gonna do is we are going to take some more of this ribbon, because it's so pretty. And we are going to do some pretty loops with it, okay? All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna take it, I'm gonna take both of them, and let's see how much we want to have. Let's do, let's see, is a yard enough? I think, okay. We're gonna do a yard. Alright. And what we're gonna do is we're really gonna do 2 yards, okay? So we're gonna fold this in half. I'm gonna pull out the same amount. So you can just use the first one to measure the second one. There we go. Alright. Now we can set this aside for a minute. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to take that center, okay, pinch it. You want both pieces coming out this way, and you want to pull some of your wire back around from your bow. That's why we have longer wire. And underneath this bow, you're going to tie this centerpiece on. Okay. I'm going to twist my wire a good couple times, and then I'm going to slip it right back around the back. There we go. So now you cannot tell that this was added after we did our bow. So that's what you want. And that's why we do that. Okay. All right. Now you're going to take this ribbon here, okay, and we are going to cut this at an angle. So just cut it at an angle, one going in one direction and one going in the opposite direction. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you are going to make nice little loops. So I don't want to go in every one of these. I just want to kind of go here. So we'll bring it here. And we're going to use some of our pine here and tie it down. I want the loop to be a little bit taller than my mesh, like that. Okay, same thing on the other side. There we go. Okay. Alright, and then I want to pull this apart just a little bit because I want to see both of those. Okay, so that's what it looks like right now. And then again, we're going to do the same thing again. And tie it down here. We can actually untie this. Okay. There we go. Alright. Then I'm just going to kind of pull these off to the side. Okay. Like that. Now pull these down a little bit. There we go. Sucks. Okay, so we did our little loops. One here, one here. We kind of spread them out a little bit. Now we're going to take this pretty ribbon here and we are going to cut it at 22 inches. I'm going to do that 3 times. Okay. There we go. All right. Okay, and we're going to cut that in half. Okay. So I'm going to take these two pieces that I cut in half, and I'm going to dovetail them. Okay. There we go. Okay. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our sign. Okay, so you've cut these. I just want you to set them aside for right this second. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our sign in. We're going to place it right here where we did our first little loop. Okay? So this has wires on the top. I'm just going to tie it down with the wires that I have on the top. And I'm going to tie it behind here to the pine. Okay. There we go. Okay. And we'll do this side. Okay. All right, there we go. Now let's see if it's on there good. It's on there good. Okay. So now we are going to take our 4 flowers and cut those off. Okay. I like to push the little leaves up. Okay. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take some of this that's left, okay, and we are going to cut a couple 10-inch pieces, okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to make this wider. And what you do is you take your 10-inch piece that you cut, and you're just going to ruffle it. Now when you ruffle this, you want to be pretty gentle. And then you're going to take these 2 pieces that we cut, and you're going to get the center, and you're going to go right next to where the bow and that big loop is, and you're going to tie this one down, okay? So one on this side. Alright, let's do one on this side. So you want to be about the same spot. Okay, there we go. See, and what that does is that widens, it makes the swag wider, okay? We're going to do the exact same thing right here in the center. Okay, so 2 more 10-inch cuts. All right. Okay. This time we're going to use some of this ribbon. And we're just going to do 12 inches. You don't need a lot. Okay. I'm going to dovetail it. Then do your ruffle. Grab your ribbon, put it right in the center. Okay, and then tie it on right out here beside this sign. So so what we're doing is we're making it wider where we have the sign. Okay. Let's do the other side. Yes. Let's see. Okay. There we go. There. Okay. So you can see how that widens it. It makes it much wider. Okay. Now we have several picks to put in. Okay, so these picks are really cute. And there's several ways that you can do this. So you can put it in all as one pick. Okay, like this. Just kind of spread it out. So like this one. So we could put this one right down here where this little bow is. Okay, and we just want to cut it off. Okay, make sure you make that little piece and we'll glue it in down here. So I love to do this with bows because it kind of makes the bows blend in better. Alright. The other thing you can do with these picks is you can pull them apart so they're just tied together. You pull it apart and then use it in several different places. So this is especially good when you have something like this and you really want to kind of, you know, make it wider and give it more interest. So I think I'm going to keep these little gourds together. So I'll just kind of retwist this around itself. I'll put this out here. Okay. We still have two of these. So we definitely want to use these. Okay. So, put, let's see. Let's put one. I don't want that. One right there in the center. Okay. One over here. Okay, so we got it all. I think I'm actually going to put this piece over here because this side needs a little bit more volume over here on the side. So we're going to put that there, and then we'll use this flower over here. There we go. Alright. Now, you can keep putting more of these little ruffles because these are really cute. You can put one here, you can put one here, you can put one here. It really just depends on how you want it to look. Okay, so we are actually going to put more of the ruffles in it. I really like how that looks. So, and it really needs to be wider. So we're going to cut some more 10-inch ruffles. Okay. Alright, so we put these two up here. This one is a little bit higher than this one, so we're going to move this one around and make it and put it a little bit higher. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put it right up here behind the ribbon and tie it off. Okay, there we go. Alright, I don't want it to hide the bow, so I'm just going to kind of put it underneath the bow. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. So I'm going to kind of put it right here. There we go. There. Okay, so now it kind of gives a wider base here. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to take this and we're going to make a ruffle. Okay, and we're going to put one right here. So kind of right in the middle. Okay, so I want it to be pretty close to where this center is, right here. All right. And we're going to do the other side, and we're going to come back and put a ribbon in there. Okay. All right, so right about right here. Now, make sure that none of your ribbon is getting stuck in there. So you want to kind of refluff everything and make sure it's still on top. But now you can see what it did is it's starting to give it more of a shape. Okay? Like this. All right? So we have one here, here. And one thing I want to do is I want to bring some white here. So we did that up here with our orange and white. So remember, we have 2 more orange and white pieces here. And we can cut these in half. Let's see. So it's going to make about a 10-inch. And then I'm gonna do a dovetail. All right. Now, I want to put, whoop, let me make this a dovetail. Okay, we're going to put one here. Okay. And what we're going to do is we are going to get out some of our truck ribbon. I'm going to make this a dovetail. Okay, and we're going to put it in here. So we want 10-inch. Okay, about right here. All right, so I'm going to cut a few of these. Okay. I'm going to dovetail these. So this is very dark. This is dark. These are dark. So what we're doing is we're adding in something with a little white in it, and that's going to help us brighten things up, okay? So we're just doing this just like a regular ruffle. Then we're going to pull our ribbons out here. And I think we probably need to make it, let's make it, I think we should make these 12 inches. So we're going to do our truck ones 12 inches. Let's see. Let's start with this. Okay. All right. So we have 12-inch and 10-inch. So we'll put that in. So your 10-inch can go up top, and your 12-inch you want to kind of pull down like this. There we go. Okay. I'm not going to put any up here because we already have our ribbon, our bow up here, so we don't really need it. Okay. There we go. Alright, so we're going to put this one on the other side. So just take the center. Take one of our smaller ones and place it right in. Alright, so the smaller one goes up top and the longer one we pull down. Okay, there we go. I'm pulling these a little bit more towards the center because for one thing I want to be able to see this really cute ribbon, and for another thing we have something coming out on the sides now. Okay. Alright, so we have a darker one here, so we want to put some truck ones there. So let's do 12 inches again. Okay. There we go. Alright. So I'm just going to open this back up, and I'm going to put this in with this. And close it back off. Alright. And then just arrange them. Okay. There we go. I'm going to pull both of these out front because we have our sign here. So you know when you have a sign you want to pull those ribbons out so you can see them. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay. So let's take these two together. All right. And you're really putting this underneath that sign, okay? So it's giving it, this sign is a little bit larger than our swag, but by putting this ruffle under here, then it really kind of makes it a good base for having your sign there. See? Okay. So now we can put one more ruffle here, and then we'll be done with our ruffles. And you will have used most of the roll. Okay, let's see. So 2 more ruffles, also at 10 inches. Okay, and you have about that much left of your roll. All right. So let's do another truck. Let's see. So 12-inch here. And of course, you can also use the little cardboard like I usually do, but I just decided to go ahead and do it by hand. Okay, I'm going to fold it over, cut away from myself, and do that dovetail. All right. Now, let's see. I'm going to take these other 2 pieces. That's what I'm going to do. I really like this one. So I'm pinching this up right now. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and do my ruffle, and then I can put it in as one piece. So just put the ruffle in. Okay. I'm going to tie it in here. And then pull this out so you can see that cute ribbon. There we go. All right, we're going to do the other side. Okay. So if you have more of one ribbon than the other, it is perfectly fine, especially in a situation like this, where one of them is longer than the other. When you're pulling them out and stretching them out, it's not going to be as obvious and can just be part of the design. And that is totally okay to do that. All right, there we go. So fluff out our ruffle and pull our ribbon out. There we go. So now you see our swag is much wider and more uniform because we have added in those ruffles. Okay. Now let's talk about the bottom. All right, so there's several things you can do with the bottom. Okay, you can take more ribbon, okay, and add it to the bottom. Let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so we would just add one in, tie this back off, and then you could take this and curl it under. You could pull it out and have a curl like this. Okay. Like that. You can take this piece and you can tuck it underneath like that and just have it kind of hanging down like this. That is cute. I kind of like that. I think that's what we'll do. So we're just going to take this piece and pinch it, pull it up, and then just tie it off with one of our little evergreens. Okay, there we go. All right. So don't worry about this that's sticking out because we're going to put something on that. All right. Now we can bring in our picks. So we have several different picks, and of course we have our flowers. All right. So you can keep the pick together like this. All right, so everything you need is on the pick, and you can place it wherever you would like. So we could place this whole thing here in between these two pieces and have that there. You can take it apart. So they all have multiple pieces on them. And you can take it apart. See, like this one, I really like this one. It has little leaves on it. It has a little bit of raffia here. And it has this pumpkin. So this one is absolutely perfect for right here. Okay, so you just want to make sure all your leaves are going in the same direction. Let's get our glue gun going. And we will glue this one in right here. So you see how it covers up all of that, and you're still seeing some of the little peaks of ribbon. So I took this one apart. Okay, and this one had this in it. Okay, along with that. All right. So I love this flower. I think this is so pretty. So we can glue this in here like this. This also helps keep our ribbons apart like that. Yes, much better. All right, we have these cute leaves. I like this. I want to put some of this up near my sign because you can see it really does kind of blend in with the sign, the colors of the sign. Okay. We have our awesome flowers. I've already cut it about 4 inches and did a little hook on it. So these are awesome to put in where our ruffles are and our little ribbons right there. Okay, so I'm going to put those in. Oops. Alright. So I'm not going to do it up at the top just because we already have so much up here. We have our bow up here and I really don't want to disturb the bow. So we're going to leave it as is. So I'll put it here. One on that side. We're going to have our little, actually I think we might put our leaves over here. There seems to be a little bit more room on this side. So we'll put our leaves over here. Okay. Alright. So we have 2 more flowers. We can put one here, there, and one here. Okay. Alright, and we have our little pumpkin down here, right there. And we can put our little gourds right in here. There we go. Ah, love that. Maybe some of the little raffia behind it. Give it a little bit of volume out to the side. Okay, let's see. Did we get all our flowers? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Alright, so let's put that on that side and let's put the raffia on this side. So you always want to make sure you're balancing so that it's balanced all the way down like this. Okay, so I'm just going to go through and start gluing these in now that I am comfortable where they're going to go. Okay. And glue them without gluing yourself. Because, yeah, so easy to do. Okay. And the great thing about these kinds of swags is that the evergreen, I mean, it will hold on to some glue. So you can be confident that when you glue it in, it's going to stay there. And it is great to have that to glue onto. It just makes a really great base to glue onto. Much better than when you're using just like a regular wreath. Unless you can get the ties. Now if you get the ties, of course, that works pretty well. Alright, let's take this over. Alright. Okay, there we go. And of course you want to make sure that you have your ribbons where you want them. Alright. Let's see. There we go. Get this one. There we go. Alright, this one. So I'm going to kind of get it down the surface here. So when you're all done, what you can do is come back with your hair dryer and just lightly run your hair dryer across it, and it'll get rid of all of those little pieces. Okay, so I think we need to do this one here. Yes. Okay. Here we go. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Alright, let's make sure we have everything glued in. Whoop! We've got this piece. We're going to put this back here. Yeah. Okay. Just remember to be careful as you're gluing things in. Not to get yourself. It's so easy to do. There we go. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure my bow is still good. Yeah. Flip it up. There we go. And there we go. Okay. I think we are all good. Yes. All right. Everything's in there. All right, let me pull it up so we can look at it. Here we go. And we have completed our swag. And I love it. Well, I hope y'all enjoy it as much as I do, because I think it was a blast to make. And it's different. I love different. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you thought. And I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.